Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into the world of birds. But we're not just going to talk about them as animals. Oh no. We're looking at them as these just absolute masterpieces of engineering. We're going to break down exactly how their incredible anatomy makes all that magic happen.
I mean, seriously, have you ever just been sitting there, you look up, you see a bird, and just think, how? How do they do that? You see one just launch into the air, and for a second, it feels like it's just completely ignoring the laws of physics, right?
Well, it turns out every single part of a bird, from its tiniest feather right down to its bones, is this incredibly elegant solution to the huge challenges of flying and just surviving. It's like a giant puzzle, and today, we're going to put the pieces together.
So, you ready? Let's get into it. Let's break down the blueprint of these amazing flying machines.
Okay, first things first. We've got to cover the basics. What actually makes a bird, well, a bird? What are the non-negotiables? It really comes down to this core combination of traits. They're warm-blooded, they're covered in feathers, they've got 2 wings, 2 legs, and of course that beak instead of teeth. That's the basic package.
And that whole package is built on a really simple but super effective 3-part plan. You've got the head, which is kind of the command center for seeing and eating. Then there's the trunk, that's the core, the engine room where the wings attach. And finally, the tail, which acts like a rudder on a ship, giving them that incredible control when they're flying.
All right, now for the main event. Let's talk about flight. Seriously, this is where evolution just put on an absolute masterclass in engineering. It solved the ultimate problem, how to beat gravity.
And it really all boils down to 3 key secrets. First, a boat-shaped streamlined body. Second, bones that are ridiculously lightweight. And third, the sheer power in their wings and muscles. Let's dig into each one.
So, that body shape, it's totally aerodynamic. A great way to think about it is like the hull of a boat slicing through water. But for a bird, it's designed to let air flow right over it with almost no drag. It's all about being as efficient as possible. Okay, next up is this absolutely genius trick for saving weight. See, instead of having heavy, solid bones like we do, birds have hollow bones. They're literally filled with air. This makes them incredibly light, which is crucial for getting off the ground. And don't worry, they're not fragile. They have this internal network of struts, kind of like a bridge, that makes them super strong.
And finally, let's talk about the engine, the wings. Flying is basically this constant 2-step dance. You have the upstroke, where the wings just kind of get back into position, but the real magic happens on the downstroke. That's the power move, a strong push down and forward that generates all the lift and pushes the bird up into the sky. Now, obviously, none of this flight stuff works without feathers. But here's the cool thing, they're not just for flying. Feathers are like the ultimate multi-tool. You've got the soft, fluffy down feathers for warmth, kind of like a built-in winter coat. You've got the body feathers for protection and creating that streamlined shape. And then you have the big guns, the long, strong flight feathers on the wings and tail that make flight possible.
Okay, so we've got flight down. But what about everything else? How do they actually live and interact with the world around them? Well, for that, we need to zoom in on their specialized toolkit, their beaks and their feet.
And it all really starts with a simple question. How in the world do you eat if you don't have any teeth? The answer is pretty brilliant, actually. You evolve a beak that's custom-made for whatever's on your menu.
It's all about specialization. So an eagle has this sharp, hooked beak that's basically a steak knife for tearing meat. A little sparrow? Its short, tough, cone-shaped beak is a perfect nutcracker for seeds. And a hummingbird's beak is like a delicate precision straw for sipping nectar. The beak literally is the tool, and it's always the right one for the job.
And guess what? The exact same idea applies to their feet. A sparrow's foot, it's like a perfect little clamp, designed to grip a branch and not let go. A hen has sharp claws that act like tiny rakes for digging up insects. And a crane's long legs and spread out toes, they're basically built-in stilts for wading through the mud without sinking.
And this specialization gets even cooler when you look at feet designed for specific actions. Take a woodpecker. It has this special kind of foot. It's called zygodactyl, which just means 2 toes point forward and 2 point back. This gives them an unbelievable grip for climbing straight up a tree trunk. Then you have the obvious ones, right? A duck's webbed feet are perfect little paddles. And a hawk's talons, well, those are just powerful, terrifying weapons for snatching prey.
So, we've established that the individual bird is this incredible piece of design. But let's zoom out for a minute. Why does any of this matter for the rest of us, for the wider world?
Well, it all starts with their behavior. A bird uses its whole specialized body, that custom beak, those unique feet, to build a nest. And a nest is so much more than just a house. It's an incubator to keep the eggs warm and a fortress to protect the babies from predators. It's all about making sure the next generation survives.
And as they just go about their day-to-day lives, birds are doing all these super important jobs for the entire planet. They're nature's pest control, eating insects that would otherwise destroy crops. They're master gardeners, spreading seeds everywhere they go. And some are even the official cleanup crew, clearing away dead animals. Honestly, they're absolutely essential.
When you really think about it, every single bird is a masterclass in adaptation. It's all about efficiency and survival. Their anatomy isn't just biology. It's a blueprint for brilliant design that has been perfected over millions of years. So seriously, the next time you see a bird take flight, just take a second to appreciate it. You're not just watching an animal, you're watching a perfect, living solution to the impossible challenge of conquering the sky.